See now how autogamy or geitonogamy are affected by unisexual or bisexual flowers. Suppose autogamy is there. Autogamy is possible only in bisexual flowers, whereas in unisexual flowers it is not possible. Autogamy is not possible in unisexual flowers. Coming to geitonogamy, geitonogamy is possible in both bisexual and unisexual. In unisexual flowers it is possible, at the same time in bisexual flowers also it is possible. See, suppose if a flower is bisexual, that can perform autogamy, geitonogamy or cross pollination also. Autogamy, geitonogamy, they are types of self-pollination. This geitonogamy genetically equal to self-pollination. So we can consider this as self-pollination only. Geitonogamy is genetically equal to self-pollination, so we can consider this as self-pollination. Okay, if a flower is bisexual flower, bisexual flowers are produced by what? Monoecious plants. Monoecious plants have both male and female sex organs. They may have bisexual flowers or male flowers and female flowers separately. That is called as what? Monoecious condition in plants. In that, what is possible? Geitonogamy is possible, or autogamy is possible, and cross pollination is also possible. But if a flower is unisexual, then autogamy is not possible. That means unisexuality in flowers can prevent autogamy. It cannot prevent geitonogamy. Why? Because what is geitonogamy? Geitonogamy is a transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of two different flowers of same plant. One plant has two different flowers. Between the two flowers, there is pollination is taking place. That is called as geitonogamy. Okay. Unisexual flowers are there. Suppose one plant has two flowers separately. One male flower is there, one female flower is there. In that, geitonogamy is possible. Geitonogamy is possible if male and female flowers are separately present on two different plants. Then cross pollination only possible. Self pollination is not possible. Okay, that point I will write. First, unisexual flowers prevent autogamy but not geitonogamy. Unisexuality or unisexual flowers can prevent autogamy, they cannot prevent geitonogamy. That is one point. Okay. Unisexual members, that means male and female plants. If one plant has a male flower and another plant has a female flower, that show only cross pollination. No self-pollination. Self-pollination is not shown here. What is self-pollination? Within the same plant, there is a transfer of pollen grains, means then it is called as self-pollination. But here, male flower is present on one plant, female flower is present on another plant. So self-pollination is not possible. Only cross-pollination is possible. That is one type. But bisexual flower is there, means that bisexual flower can perform autogamy or geitonogamy or cross pollination. Bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers can perform auto, getano, and cross pollination also. One more point you can write. Unisexual flowers on same plant. If unisexual flowers are present on same plant, it can perform getanogamy and cross pollination also. Cross pollination is also possible because male and female flowers are present on one plant means male flower separately, female flower separately present on same plant means that can possible with getanogamy. Okay. So as male and female members are produced, this male gametes are produced from this plant. Same plant may be another plant may present. That plant may receive. So cross pollination is also possible for unisexual flowers present on same plant. If unisexual flowers are present on two different plants, then only cross pollination is possible. Self pollination is not possible. Usually, unisexuality in members can prevent autogamy but not getanogamy. Then, advantages of self pollination. What are advantages? With the help of self pollination, what plants get advantage? Okay, see, they can maintain parental character. What is the, by continuous self pollination, what is the DNA content present here in a plant? The same character we can maintain with the help of self pollination. That is one thing. So the maintaining of same character is called as pure line. Pure line means which is homozygous condition. Two alleles are present for one gene. One DNA has two different alleles. Two different alleles are of same type. That is called as a pure line. This will come in genetics. There we will see. And due to self pollination, where pollination is taking place in within same plant, there is no wastage of pollen grain, so that no need to produce pollen in large number. Large number production of pollen grain is not needed in self pollination. Okay, because there is no wastage of pollen grain. Okay, and no need to attract pollinators, because in self pollination pollinators are not involved more. Normally to attract pollinators, what is required? Flowers have some structures like brightly colored petals and presence of nectar. They are the characteristics of flowers which are meant for the attraction of pollinators. Such devices are not needed in self pollination. Okay, then it ensures seed formation. Seed formation is ensured means self pollination almost successful. Every time pollination is complete and that results in fertilization also. Fertilization is complete. Okay, and one more advantage of self pollination is eliminate bad and recessive characters. What are the bad characters? Unwanted characters which are present in a plant. By self pollination for continuous generations, if we do cropping of plants by self pollination for some generations, bad recessive characters we can remove from that plant or that population or species. These are advantages. What are disadvantages? Due to continuous self-pollination for more generations that leads to inbreeding depression, vigor and viability of race decreases. What is vigor and viability? Vigor means to establish a plant by the seed, that is vigor. Viability means the living period or the active period of seed from the dispersal from fruit and to seedling formation, seed germination. The time duration or the active period of time after the dispersal from fruit to germinate, that is called as viability. Viability period is more means seeds we can preserve for long time. Viable period is less means seeds will get damaged very fast. That is one. Then immunity to diseases may decrease due to self-pollination. If cross-pollination is doing, that can develop a new characters or something, but same characters are there now, so immunity will be decreasing. And last point, adaptability to environment changes will also decrease. Adaptability to environmental changes will also decrease. So adaptability to environmental changes means if there is a change in the environment, then these members which are carrying self-pollination for long times, they cannot adapt to the new environment. When environmental changes taking place, these species may be diminishing, dying, or they cannot reproduce, like that some problems develop. Normally environmental changes leads to parthenocarpy also, I told you. Due to environmental changes, there is formation of seedless fruits in capsicum and pea plants. Okay, that is disadvantage. So with the self-pollination we have disadvantage. Then self-pollination devices. That means some features that can perform self-pollination and they can encourage self-pollination. Self-pollinating devices or inbreeding devices, we can say. These are also called as contrivances of self-pollination. Inbreeding devices or self-breeding devices. What are that? One is homogamy. Homogamy is a method. What are self-pollinating devices means? Some methods which are activating self-pollination, promoting self-pollination. They can encourage the self-pollination. These methods are encouraging self-pollination. They are called as self-pollinating devices. Homogamy. What is homogamy means? Stamen, stigma mature at same time. If stamen and stigma are maturing at the same time, what happens? Stamen is releasing pollen grain. At the same time, stigma is also receptive. So stigma will receive pollen grain and cause self-pollination. This we can see in some plants like Caltha ranunculus. In Caltha and ranunculus, we can observe homogamy type of self-pollination. Then another type, keistogamy. We already discussed about keistogamy. Keistogamy is a contrivance or it is a method that can enhance the chances of self-pollination. It can promote self-pollination. What is this keistogamy? Pollination in closed flowers. As the pollination is taking place in closed flowers, it is always self-pollination. No cross-pollination is possible in cleistogamous flowers or closed flowers. Example for this cleistogamous angiosperms: Comnelina. Comnelina is a plant that can show cleistogamous type of self-pollination. Another plant, Streptocarpus. Comnelina and Streptocarpus are showing this cleistogamous type of pollination. Then, bud pollination. Bud pollination is another type where pollination taking place in floral bud. This also closed flower only, floral bud only. This is also bud. But what is the difference between cleistogamous and floral bud? Means cleistogamous and bud pollination. Cleistogamous flowers, they never open. Even flower is matured, flower will not open. Is cleistogamous. This bud pollination is observed in some plants like wheat, tobacco, paddy, etc. Then fourth one is safety mechanism. Is another method of encouraging self-pollination. This safety mechanism is seen in a particular inflorescence called head inflorescence. In morphology, we discussed about a special type of inflorescence called as head inflorescence. Head inflorescence. In head inflorescence, it is seen in Tridoxyprocumbens, Helianthus, that means sunflower. They are the members of Asteraceae family. In Asteraceae family, there is inflorescence called as head inflorescence. In that head inflorescence, at the bottom, there is presence of involucre of bracts that I told you. And there is usually presence of two types of florets called as disc florets and ray florets. Ray florets are usually unisexual and disc florets are there na? Disc florets are bisexual, they have stigma. This safety mechanism. What is that safety mechanism? Stigma bends towards stamen when cross pollination is failed, and to perform self-pollination. Usually disc flowers are bisexual flowers. First, they prefer for cross-pollination. If foreign pollen grains are available, then it can mediate cross-pollination. If foreign pollen grains are not available, then cross-pollination is not possible. When cross-pollination is failed, there is presence of a stigma and stamen. That stigma which is present here, that stigma will bend towards anther. Stigma will bend towards anther and it will receive pollen grain within same flower. So that is a type of mechanism called as safety mechanism. This safety mechanism is seen in members of Asteraceae family like Tridox, sunflower. Sunflower is also called Helianthus. In Tridox and Helianthus, we can observe the safety mechanism where failure of cross pollination is taken as the initiative for encouraging self pollination. Disc florets are in disc florets, stigma is bending towards the stamen and collecting pollen grains, mediating self pollination. These are self-pollination devices or inbreeding devices are contrivances of self-pollination. Self-pollination devices are some methods that are promoting or encouraging the self pollination.